I love life. I actually just love life. But I thought, you know what, while I'm ranting, I might as well rant for YouTube as well at the same time. Welcome back to another video. I feel so good. I've had so many epiphanies this week, very positive ways. Yeah, let's address the first thing, obviously going vegan. I've now been vegan for 1 week. When I say vegan, okay, here we go, disclaimer. I still have normal chocolate on my oats because I'm trying to get rid of everything that I've had. So I did end up having like a whole bar of caramel milk on, what was it, Monday? Today's Friday. So just to get rid of it, you know, because no one else is going to eat it in the house apart from me. 90% of my diet is now vegan. I don't even miss meat at all. I don't really eat fish anyway. I just don't. It just goes to show that I was eating that stuff just because it was there. Now I've made the conscious effort to switch, and it's only 2 meals that I had with meat. It was the chicken mince and the turkey bacon, and yeah, I just don't miss it. Like I really don't know how many times I need to say it, but I don't miss meat personally. I feel so good. My digestion, the one thing I've noticed is my bloating. My bloating is pretty much non-existent, and I feel so much fuller. And it's probably all the fibre in the fruit that I'm eating, the vegetables, like the green leafy vegetables and stuff. Generally, I feel fuller. I feel like I made the right decision. I'm still doing a lot of research. I'm watching YouTube videos on the benefits of going plant-based, and you know, the how it lowers your risk of certain diseases and illnesses in the future. And it's just so eye-opening. And I think, like, if there's one thing we have control of, it is our bodies, and we need to look after our bodies. So I'm honestly in my skin as well, like I just feel everything just feels good, you know. And it's only 1 week in, so it can only get better from here. So I will talk about my binge eating because I did get a few questions on my Instagram. I'll put out a question tag, so I will answer your questions as well and give you an overall about like how to overcome binge eating. I do want to address something that I did put on my Instagram this morning as well. I feel like I have woken up this morning on a different planet. Like no, I feel like I feel like I've been off this planet for about 5 days, and I've just come back down to earth, and like mentally, spiritually, and I'm like, what is this world? What is this reality we are living in? Because it's just crazy. And my little TED talk to you guys to start this video, and hopefully give you a bit of like motivation going forward, is if something in life does not give you happiness and peace, let it go. That could be anything. It could be somebody, it could be something, job, situation. And what triggered me to talk about that is I went on Netflix this morning, and the first recommendation that came up was The Ultimatum, to marry or not to marry. So basically couples go in this retreat, and then they go off with other partners. It just seems a bit fucked, to be honest. And I was just watching it, I was thinking, what is this world? Like, some of the couples like audition tapes, I was just watching it thinking, this girl was like, you know, if he's not in it for marriage, why am I here, kind of thing. And I'm thinking, firstly, why do you feel like you need to get married to validate your relationship? Why use it as a validation tool? I don't understand it. And it could be because I am somewhat in a position where right now I don't want marriage, I don't even want kids at this rate. I don't want to be bringing kids into this world. And also because I'm a little bit fucking selfish as well, to a degree. I want to be spending money on myself, and I want to make sure I'm the best person for myself before I can even think about, one, attracting somebody else, and two, having kids and reproducing. And yeah, we are here on earth to reproduce and die, just from an evolution point of view, but for me, that's just not long term. And like, yeah, I was just looking at this couple thinking, why do you want to, what label, when you get married, it's just a label. What changes? Why do you feel like you need to have that marriage to validate and signify something in your relationship? I honestly don't understand it. And it's obviously something to do with like what's going on internally for this girl but that's issues that she has to address. Anyway, that's my point. And yeah, I just woke up and I thought, like, one, it was to do with that. And if she's not happy, why is she trying to force something? Stop trying to force stuff. Like, I wish I said this to myself, or knowing that, I wish I knew this a few years ago. You know, I've gone through relationships and I've gone through stuff in the past, and if only I knew back then, like, if only I thought back then how I think now. I just feel like life is too short, and if you are generally like not happy and you feel stuck, whether that is with something or someone, you need to just get out of it. Like, there is so much more on this earth than feeling like that, feeling like bogged down and weighed down. Like, it's just so much more. And who you have in your circle, you need to be so picky. Like, yeah, I could go on, this could be a whole video in itself, but it's just mad this day and age. And I did put on my Instagram story as well that no wonder why people nowadays in this generation, they don't commit in relationships. There's always options, right, at the touch of your fingertips, all these dating apps. And like, this program clearly saw, like, married couples are going with other couples. They're basically single for a while and doing what they want to see if there's a better fit for them. Like, yeah, there is going to be so many people out there who's probably a better fit for you, but no one's perfect. And we are just living in this day and age where I think there's so much pressure to be perfect. And no wonder why people are so fucked up mentally. Excuse my language, but I just had to say it, had to get off my chest. Life is too short. People don't want to work on relationships nowadays. Like, if you know that a relationship is for you, then work on it. If not, then just say see you later and good luck, and be respectful to that person. Like, that's one thing I've learned as well, especially through my past relationship, is that there's a way to do it. There's a respectful way to do it. You can have your opinions as well, but you need to be respectful about it and be respectful towards other people. Like, I don't intentionally go out my way to piss people off, but if I say something that's my opinion and people get offended by it, then that is your issue that you need to address within yourself. I think that's it for me for this intro. Oh, it has been a hot minute, baby, but I'm back on YouTube. Why do I turn into like Australian? So the last thing I posted, well, not posted, but last vlog edit I did was the Ultimatum show. I still haven't finished it. I mean, I don't really watch telly, so I find it quite hard to watch telly and like sit down and stuff. I think I'm on episode 9 anyway, but you know, my point still stands. I still don't really like the concept of it. So this one is about binge eating. I have been banging on about it for quite a while. So it's not, I'm really sorry, it's not a very organised video, but I'm just going to try and give you some points. So just a brief history about my binge eating. I have a video actually from like 2016 on my YouTube channel all about my binge eating. So it's been something that I've suffered with quite a long time. I would still probably say that I don't even really know the root cause of it. Like, they say binge eating is caused by maybe having that control or something that's happened in your childhood. I'm like, I honestly don't know, which probably is quite bad because I probably should know why I binge eat. It's just a source of comfort for me. However, so I binged a lot on my prep. I've been open about that as well for competition, and a lot of people say if you go into competing, it's not healthy if you have some kind of eating disorder. It could make it worse. But I found the opposite. I came out of competition. Yeah, for the first 2 weeks, I struggled with binge eating. Since then, I can honestly say my relationship with food has changed drastically for the better. I feel just satisfied. I feel full. Like, I think it's about, and this could go on quite deep, but it's about being full in yourself. Like, when you think about binge eating, like, what void are you trying to fill when you do that? You know, I am quite an emotional person, and you know, last year I was going through a breakup, and I would eat and I'd try and make myself feel better by eating food, just consume all this food in such a short space of time. I would never vomit, just pure binge eating and then feeling shit after. It is so easy to relapse, and I'm just going to say this now before I get into it as well, but I still have times where I will still be like, I think fucking last weekend I still had like a whole pack of prawn cocktail Wotsits. They were so good though, and like 2 Rolo yogurts. What else did I have? I had something else. I had like 3 or 4 things like in one go, and I was like, oh, okay, I've just had a bit of a binge. But that's it, just stops there. I don't continue it and continue making myself feel shit. So it's just being mindful. It's all about your mindset. It's about being mindful about what it is you're doing. And like, yeah, I'm literally gonna go into it right now. Little tips. So thirst and hunger is not the same. A lot of people think, right, if you're hungry, like when you get to that point where you binge, are you thirsty? No. When you're thirsty, your mouth is dry. When you're hungry, you have the hunger pangs. Like, they are different. I mean, give it a go. Try and drink some water if you do feel hungry, like you want to binge. But to be honest, and I've been through so many times like this, I will try and drink water and try this, and in the back of my mind, I just want food. Thirst and hunger is not the same, so just put that out there. It is very different from a physiological point of view. Journal your experience after a binge. I actually have a journal on my phone on my notes. Last year, I remember on my prep as well, every time I felt the need to want to binge, I would journal it, and then the next time I wanted to binge, I'd look back on the journal and see how I felt after the binge. I mean, I journal every night anyway, or every day. I journal like throughout the day, just so I'm in touch with my emotions. Like I like knowing why I am the way I am, why I think the way I think, etc. So for me to try and overcome binge eating, I felt like I had to do something, and that was journaling. Try and pinpoint your emotions at the time you want to binge. So like, what headspace were you in? Were you just bored? I find a lot, like sometimes I am just bored, whereas if I'm on the go and doing things that I like doing and enjoy doing, I don't even think about food, okay? But obviously that, yeah, any inner battles that you are going through, but with that comes a lot of inner work, and you may have to find some help, therapist, whatever it is, find some help externally to help you look like within as to why you are feeling the need to binge. Focus on your hobbies, as I said. So when I'm at the gym for like 4 hours, guys, I don't think about food. It's just that moment after. Do you know what it is as well? It's breaking the habits. If you guys haven't read a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, I want to say, I read that book within 2 days. It was so good, and I don't really want to go into too much detail about it, but it is based on the principle of that reward as well. That yeah, it's the reward, and sometimes we reward ourselves with food, especially when we're binge eaters, right? It is breaking that habit, completely breaking down each step of the habit as to why you're in that rut anyway. So like, I used to finish work and then always go Tesco and get like a pack of chocolate shortbread or whatever. I got into a habit of that, and breaking that habit was so hard. But it's about finding another reward instead of food, if that makes sense. Just breaking that pattern. It's crazy how your mind works, but it's also so interesting as well. Never shop when you're hungry. Oh my god, I still do it now, to be fair. I fucking had what did I have yesterday, guys? Caramel egg on the way to the gym. I wasn't even hungry. I just stopped for petrol, went in the petrol station, and I saw the caramel eggs looking at me, and I thought, they are asking to be bought right now. I just had to have one. It's not cool talking about binge eating, but never shop when you're hungry. Was I even hungry? Was I even hungry? Next one, control your environment. If you live with family, it's a little bit harder to do. I find that anyway. As in, to a degree. Sometimes when you are living with family, you kind of feel guilty for going on a binge. You kind of hide. I used to hide it. I used to hide food in my bag and bring it upstairs to my room and eat it. I think all binge eaters have done secret eating before. Yeah, so you kind of feel a little bit embarrassed if you are with them. So in a way, yeah, if you live with your family, it can actually be easier living with your family. But control your environment. So every time I have an off-plan meal, I have to, again, it's a habit, but I have to be like in my bed, watching telly, proper, comfortable, and then I can eat my off-plan meal. But then I would get addicted to that, and then I'd want to keep doing it, because it felt good. It felt good, right? It felt good. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Seems so simple. Excuse me, but I tell you what, this is good though. Very peachy. If you haven't tried it, my goodness, you have to try it. Zero sugar prep hack. I might do some prep hacks as well. You guys are competing, watching this. Let me know if you want to see some prep hacks, like how to stay full on your diet, which again helps with not binging, because when you're satisfied, you don't want to binge. Okay, anyway, out of sight, out of mind. Yes, plenty of times I've forgotten about food if it's not physically there. I've put stuff like just in backs of cupboards and stuff. Just think, yeah, if I go on a binge, if I'm like, right, I'm gonna have a bit of a binge day and treat myself, with nothing wrong with that. Can I just add, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we all are allowed to eat what we want, but just be mindful of it. Like sometimes I go into a binge and I'm like, right, I fancy a binge, and I'm gonna allow myself and not feel guilty. It's that feeling of guilt that you don't want. And yeah, it's fine. So yeah, plenty of times I've gone to binge and I get so full and I'm like, well, I'm just going to throw it all away now. Like, as in what's left over. Because if I throw it away, I know that I'm not going to think about it. Whereas if I have it there, or if I have it somewhere where I know where it is, all I can think about, my mind obsesses over food so much. So I have to like just either throw it away or put it somewhere else, get my mum to fucking put it in the cupboard where I can't see it. Or do you know what I've done? I've bought stuff for myself to binge on, and then I've gone home and I've said to my mum like, oh, I've bought something for you, bought like these lemon muffins that she likes. And she's like, oh, okay, thank you. And I actually feel better for not eating the muffins because I knew I would have binged on them. So I kind of feel a bit like sad, yeah, because I'm not eating them now, but food's always going to be there, isn't it? So yeah, big one. Remove the emotional attachment to food. I'm not one to talk because I have an emotional attachment to squares. We all know this, and I'm quite alright admitting that. I've gone from having 2 a day to probably 4 minimum a day, sometimes 6, I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't even be having them on my prep right now, but I've had them for like the last God knows how many months. I feel like my body's just used to it now. So my body's just defaulted to like 4 squares bars a day, which is so embarrassing to admit. However, sugar is a drug. That we know that sugar's not good for us. It's addictive. If you're craving sugar, choose alternatives and associate that feeling with feeling better and full. My point remains, sugar-free drinks, little hack. I mean, I was gonna say coffee. Did I write coffee down? Yeah, I put coffee down, sugar-free jelly, brush your teeth, which never helps me because that minty flavour is only there so long, or chewing gum. I've never really done the chewing gum and brushing the teeth thing when I felt hungry, because even when I brush my teeth, if I still want food, mate, I'm having that food, best believe. So for me, it's getting sugar-free drinks. Because gassy drinks as well, so I never used to drink fizzy drinks before prep. These are, any kind of fizzy drink is a lifesaver. Obviously sugar free if you're on prep. If you're not, oh I know, obviously sugar free because we're talking about sugar here, aren't we? So yeah, sweeteners aren't even bad. Ignore everything that goes on social media. There has actually been studies that have debunked the myth that sweeteners are bad for you. Sweeteners, explain why sweeteners are bad for you. Sugar is bad for you. So yeah, definitely find your hacks. That is probably my top hack to feeling full and getting that sweety, sugary, it's not sugar, but getting that sweet like kick, you know? That is so good. God, my God, is it a limited edition? Because if it is, boy, you better continue this flavour. I don't even know how long that video was. I'm trying to look in the mirror to see if I can see the screen, but I can't. So I hope it helped a little bit. It's not like a massive long video. I don't know what I was expecting. And there's probably so many more points I could have added, but I just wanted to keep it like a bit short, a bit sweet, and just give you like some points, you know. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm actually going to leave that video here as well because I'm going to go back onto prep style vlogs. This was kind of more of like a mental health thing, you know. But I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for all of you who are supporting me, subscribing, etc. I have some really exciting news as well. This is not prep related, but it's, I can't say anything. Oh, and literally every time I go on about it on my Instagram as well, I'm like, Shannon, don't say anything because you're going to ruin it. And I want the surprise to be like big, you know. See you in the next video. This is my little thing now. You know people have like their, what's the word? What do you call it? Like they have their like their character. I don't even know what it's not even a character, but it's like a, like even at work, go past reception, like some girl, Sophie, she's on reception, and I'm like, she's like little like, I don't even know what it's called. I can't talk. See you in the next video. Yeah, bitch.